So hello from Varese in Italy, and today I have the SWM Superdual 650M motorcycle, and there is not much these bikes these days on the market, like this, you know, traditional BMW GS single cylinder or Yamaha 10RA single cylinder, or the Aprilia Pegaso, which we all know probably. And so, you know, this is one of the small amount of bikes you can choose with this, you know, construction of with this architecture of single cylinder engine. So this is SWM. It actually has 600cc engine from Husquarna TE610, but I have to say, and it's built on the same frame, but I have to say I kind of, you know, like the bike. It has loads of interesting things included in the price, and there is a sensor stand, there is a solid protector of the engine, another crash bar, fog lights. There are even the side bags, which are not in the price, but this is a GT packet which has it. There is a really nice 45mm inverted front fork with enough of travel, 210mm and 220 in the rear back and in the rear, and there are fully adjustable, which is another interesting thing. Yeah, so Metzeler tires, German tires, very quality. So it's not bad. One thing where I see that this is from the different century bike is as the dash and all the electronic assistance or anything like that. It doesn't have traction control. You can see just the fog lights and the ABS you can turn in the rear wheel, but that's it. But you know, I don't feel, you know, dissatisfied with that. So I'm from old school, you know, a little bit, so I don't have any problems. What I like though, it's two pipes. This is what should be on the single cylinder engines. I like it. So let's listen to the sound a little bit. Not bad. Not much, you know, current adventure bikes sounds like that. So let's take it for a short ride. So I'm now sitting on the SWM 650 Superdual Model T with the 19-inch front wheel and the 17 in the rear. So it's a little bit more civil and less off-road, and because they have also the X model with 21-inch front wheel and 18 in the rear. That's only one difference. And let's start the single cylinder. It's nice to hear the single cylinder after a while, because now it's, you know, as you probably know, there are no much like Honda Dominator or BMW GS single cylinder or Yamaha 10RA are not on the market anymore, at least not in Europe. I'm very sad because I'm the owner of BMW GS Dakar, and I just, every time I do for adventure, you know, I'm riding my bike to let's say Romania, Albania, I always prefer to ride single cylinder. I like how easy these engines are in terms of maintenance, and they're very reliable, very lightweight, good for enduro, good for trialing. So it's nice that we have SWM, which took the frame and the engine from Husqvarna TE610 and created this motorcycle, and it's something special in I think in the year 2018. And I took it here to Italian countryside, to a beautiful, you know, twisty road, close to Varese, close to, you know, the factory. And I'm enjoying the T version, which is very nimble and very kind of good bike for the corners, you know, for the cornering, as you will see. And especially here in the sort of, you know, broken tarmac, the suspension does a great job. The overall bike reminds me the Aprilia Pegaso Trail 650, which my friend has. I ride it, you know, a couple of times. The ability, by the way, in the cornering is lovely on this bike. It's a very lightweight, 169 kilos dry weight, and this is great. But back to the point, so it reminds me of the Aprilia. Aprilia was kind of more stiff in terms of suspension. You know, it was like proper Italian bike. Here is way better, especially the front one. It's just great, fully adjustable unit, and no complaints at all. The rear is still in the stock. It's quite. Oh, let me turn off the ABS on the rear wheel, which I'll do by this button. Right. Yeah, this is really old school, the TFT, by the way. But again, back to the point. The rear one, the rear shock, is also adjustable for rebound damping and preload of the spring. And then from the factory, it's a little bit too stiff, but it's not anything. It's not anything bad. You know, for this road, I feel very nice, and this kind of Italian roads with broken tarmac, with this great suspension. Some people probably like, you know, how the engine behaves, the sound of the single cylinder. There are two stock pipes, and they do great sound, especially in the small speeds, small RPM. A typical single cylinder which works somewhere from 3000 RPM. Not bad, I like it. This has 40 kilowatts, and I was thinking that, you know, I expected more. I was thinking that, oh, this is 5 kilowatts more than Aprilia Pegasus Trail, which really reminds me of this bike, and 3 kilowatts more than on my Dakar, and I don't feel it. I would even say that this one is slower than Aprilia, but because Aprilia was somehow very fast from, you know, an acceleration to 120 kilometers per hour, but it's just, you know, every time I'm leaving the corner and full gas, I just feel that it could be a little bit more better, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more wild. It doesn't get wheelie very often from the you know, just from the throttle or anything like that. So you know, the reason is the gearing. So the gearing ratio is very tall gears. So and on the Model X there are 2 teeth more on the rear sprocket, and probably that will be the first improvement or the first change I would do on this bike if I buy it. To change the gear ratio to make it more strength, you know, more strong in the acceleration. So this is very important thing. Other than that, I like the, you know, the feeling from the engine. This is the engine from previously from the Husqvarna TE610, together with the frame that made it, you know, more modern for Euro 4, and now manufactured here in SWM. Awesome. I just visited the factory. If the video is still not on the YouTube, it will be soon. My, you know, factory tour. It was very interesting to see that they manufacture everything here in Italy, and they're trying to build a, you know, big brand again. My fingers are crossed for them. It's a good job, and I'm happy that we have a single cylinder on the market. A couple of more things. In terms of ergonomy, this is really important. My 193 centimeters, like I feel too tall on this bike, and then the seat height 890 millimeters. You know, when I saw it on the paper, I was like, yeah, this is a big bike, and it is a big bike. But I just have a problem with my legs. So as you can see, I just can't fit my legs here, you know, in the holes of the gas tank, and when I'm trying to change the position of the foot on the foot peg, you know, my foot, again, I have some problems with the space around the foot peg. So in terms of comfort, I would say that I would need a little bit more you know, and more updates on the bike, and maybe it's a problem of mine. So some people maybe will not have such a problem, especially anyone who is smaller than me. But so far I don't perceive it as a very comfortable. The seat is quite, you know, stiff or let's say hard, but on the other hand, I ride it right now about 3 hours already, and I don't see like the pain or anything. So this at least for me, it's not a problem. The brakes and clutch gearing, I don't see a problem in clutch and gearing. The hydraulic clutch, it all works nice. I have the feeling from the modern motorcycle. The brakes are criticized online, and some of the testers, like 2-piston caliper in the front, single disc. Yeah, it could be one more. When you ride it alone and with not much luggage, it's all okay. I can imagine that riding it with the pillion, with the luggage, yeah, it could be a tough one, and it would need a little bit more of braking power. But riding it alone, no problem at all. I would like to again back to the, you know, get back to the point of, you know, steering, because the steering is very nice, and you don't need to use hands at all. Just you work with your body and change the direction of the bike very easily. It holds the position due to single, 19-inch front wheel, and I really have this feeling of riding a supermotar motorcycle. And I read the same on a couple of other people online that had the same feeling. I don't know why, but it's really strange, but I really like it. So I always have the feeling that I would like to put my leg in front and enjoy the corners like on a supermotar. So this is really great. I can't really tell you how this feels in off-road, because I have the T version, not at the X. I don't have much time and the permission to ride it off-road. I can imagine it could be very good with the travels of the suspension 210 and 220. The suspension parts are very good. I can imagine, but I will have to leave it for next time when I will have the X model. So in terms of electronic systems and dash and everything, it's really old school, right? Even the mirrors, they're old school. The shape is strange and reminds me of old times. This is really cheap and easy, units, the tachometer and the speedo, but it just does the job, and it probably gives you this feeling that it will not let you down in your tour in Mongolia. So I wouldn't be like too disappointed by that. It's quite okay, and it doesn't have any traction controls or anything, just ABS you can turn off on the rear wheel. Why not? Classic throttle, not electronic. It's just an easy going bike for anyone who knows why to choose the single cylinder, and I'm very happy that we have it on the market. And yeah, I mean, that's it. I can't wait to test the X model, and hopefully I'll have the chance to take it for the Summit Adventure and tell you more. So thank you for watching, and bye.